Hello friends, I hope everyone is fine. In this video we'll talk about the PB480 ventilator and the volume control on it. This is what we are applying oxygen source, and then we also put in the pipe for the air. Now these two will be mixed inside this ventilator, and this is the power source. This is PB480 ventilator. We switch it on and we have got a circuit where we'll apply the test lung. Now this is the main screen of the PB480, and we can select the new patient, and then we can also put in the ideal body weight, which is 50 kilogram here, and we can change it by dialing it clockwise or anti-clockwise. It will keep on changing. So after the ideal body weight, we can touch the mode selection, which is assist control, SIMV, and also the invasive and non-invasive. So after putting in the weight or dialing it up or down, and then we continue it or select it, then we select the mode of the ventilator. This is the because we are to go for the volume control, which is a assist control. So we will dial it and then we will accept it. Then after selecting the volume control, we will select the rate, the tidal volume. We will push the button. Once it is selected, we can change by moving the knob clockwise or anti-clockwise, then accepting it either from this side or from the screen. Now if you look at here, this is respiratory rate, which is 10. We can change it. We can make it 12, 13, 14, 15 by moving the knob. We selected the volume control, then we also can change the tidal volume. We are making it 450. After that, we can also change the FiO2 and PEEP, and this is the main setting board. This is the main board where we select the mode, and we have selected the assist control, volume control. So rate, tidal volume, which is minute ventilation, then flow rate. Now look at this. If we change the flow rate, it also changes the IE ratio, which is downwards. This is the IE ratio. In the green you have inspiration. Now this is the triggers. This is actually FiO2. We can dial it up and dial it down, and we selected trigger sensitivity of 2, and this is PEEP. We can make it 5, and we can make it 4, 3, 2 by dialing it clockwise or anti-clockwise. And this is the peak pressure, or the inspiratory peak pressure limit, which we shouldn't cross. This is an alarm setting of the volume control, assist control, volume control. So it's a lung protective way of. Then we accept it by this button. Now this is the main screen, and this is how it performs on the test lung: inflate and deflate, inspiration and expiration. This much tidal volume will be sent in these many number of times our respiratory rate. Now this is a controlled breath. C is the controlled breath. P is peak pressure. Then it is the mean pressure. Here there is a alarm going on, which shows us that this is PEEP, IE ratio. F is the total respiratory rate, and expiratory tidal volume, and total minute ventilation. So the now there is an alarm going on, which shows us that minute ventilation alarm is beeping. So we are to go for the alarms. We'll push the button, and then we will see that there is a red line of a minute ventilation alarm. This is a total minute volume, liter per minute. Now we can change it by with the help of the same knob which we use to dial up or down certain digits. Then see, there are also alarms for the expired and inspired, mandatory and spontaneous tidal volumes. Now by with the help of the dial, we changed the alarm setting and then we accepted it, and see, the red alarm has gone off now. So these are the alarm settings for the P peak, up and down, and respiratory rate. So we can change the peak pressure setting with the help of knob, and we can then select it. This is respiratory rate F total mean total respiratory rate of the spontaneous and mandatory breaths. We can fix a limit of the respiratory rate that should not be exceeded. Then it is the total minute ventilation, expired minute ventilation, up and down limit, upper and lower limit. This is the expired tidal volume, and this is mandatory upper and down limit, and this is the spontaneous tidal volume expiratory upper and lower limit. Then we can accept these alarms. So after this we have, this is the another button which shows us certain settings inside the PB480. So to make a selection, touch a button, then you will remove the dial, and you can put it upward and downward. So these are the main settings which are displaying. Now this is there are certain waveforms and curves. So this is a pressure and flow time. If you look at it, this is the main graphs, waveforms and the curves. If we select this button, it shows us which pressure time, flow time, which selection you want to make. This is the plot button. So let's go on the volume time, and on the second curve we again move the dial up and down, and we make it pressure time. So these two will be displayed once we accept it or continue it. So these two will be displayed on the waveform or the graph or the curves. One is the volume to time, one is the pressure to time, volume in ml and pressure in centimeter of water versus time. On the y-axis there is volume. You can freeze it. You can actually freeze one particular event. On the y-axis this is either the pressure or the volume, and on the x-axis this is time. So these are the curves. So we can also use the flows, flow waveforms like pressure volume and flow volume. It will be one which is displayed on this main screen, not the two. Two are for the curves. Now we continue it by pushing the button, and here you will see this is a volume versus pressure waveform, and it will keep once we unfreeze it, it will keep on changing. See, this is changing. This is volume versus pressure, and we can know about the functioning of the lungs and the condition of the chest wall. This is tidal volume, and this is pressure in centimeter of water. So on the x-axis it is pressure, and on the y-axis it is tidal volume. So we can do unfreeze. So after the plot setup, there are some other buttons. If we press this one, it shows us the battery status and how much percentage is left, and there are certain other oxygen cells and different other things on this screen. Now this button shows us the history, how it was in the last days with the date wise. Then there are certain two other different buttons which show us ventilator configuration. These are mostly for the biomedical people. So after this, if we try to focus, these is the controlled breaths. So this is the main screen of the machine, and this is a lock. Once you push it, it will be locked and no one can change the setting. So the ventilator controls are locked. You cannot, even you push the button, you won't see a change there. So you will have to first unlock it. Then there is a volume for the different alarms, and this is the you can change the volume. You can mute it. So It will show that mute is in process, but let's cancel it because we don't want to do it. Then we see that there is a button for the manual breath. We can give oxygen for 2 minutes after suctioning. This is a manual breathing inspiration button. This is pause expiratory for intrinsic PEEP. This is end expiratory button for plateau pressure. So this is PB480. Very nice machine. So this is assist control, respiratory rate, tidal volume, and flow rate. You can change the tidal volume, and then it is the flow rate which will affect the IE ratio. If you decrease it, more will be the expiration. If you increase it, more will be the inspiration and less will be expiration. This is trigger sensitivity, which is in pressure, -2. This is FiO2, which we can change. This is ramp and square. These two are the flow patterns, which will also affect the IE ratio. This is plateau pressure, which shows on the main screen. So plateau pressure will also is affected by the lung compliance. Plateau pressure is affected by the lung compliance, and peak pressure by the resistance in the airway. This is the inspiratory or to patient circuit, and this is expiratory circuit. So if you focus it, here you see this is to the patient. It is going to the patient, and this is coming from these are the filters of the expiration and expiratory circuit. So this is the PB480 machine, and nice machine. This is the inspiratory and expiratory hold. If you hold it for expiration, it will tell you about the intrinsic PEEP, if there is an intrinsic PEEP. Now focus it. We have pressed the expiratory hold, and here inspiratory hold, and this is showing us the plateau pressure. This is the inspiratory hold. We hold it for some time, and there will be a message that you need to look at this message that it is completed. So inspiratory pause, better you wait for the pause, and now we need to end the pressure. Here you see the intrinsic PEEP when you press the expiratory hold, and it is shown along with the total PEEP. Total PEEP is the PEEP we give and PEEP which comes from the body. This is inspiratory hold. Now we have pressed the inspiratory hold button. We keep it pressed for some time, and it will give us the plateau pressure, the compliance and the resistance of the machine. It shows us compliance, resistance, plateau pressure, everything is displayed. We can use these. So thank you so much for watching it.